I'm really grateful that I looked up and saw that my microphone was muted before I hit go live. Whew. I think I've dodged a bullet this time, folks. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Uh, it's a brand new week, brand new headlines, all new. Sorry, I have to mute myself because I hate hearing my own voice on YouTube. Brand new week of all kinds of. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Omer. Oh boy, y'all. Do we got a fun show ahead of you today? Don't forget tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sir Jesse Lee Peterson will be live with me here on YouTube's. Hopefully, we can not get banned. But, whatever. I'm kind of nervous, you guys. I'm not going to lie. And I'm not going to lie because, like, he's very intimidating. I watch him and he literally tears people apart for their craziness. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Thank you, Christy. You know what? I got this from, I think, Express. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the tag, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll let you know. How is everybody today? Happy Monday. Oh my. It's all ever since everybody's now joining us. Good morning to you all. It's a whole new week of all kinds of fuckery. Let's get it. Right? So, I just did a short video, you guys. Ay, 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 ay. Let me tell you, I'm not very happy about the whole Buffalo Bill, Will, Leah Thomas thing showing up wearing Anquifa super soldier shirt. Like, that's like the only super soldiers in my eyes are military members and veterans and police officers and first responders. Those are the only super soldiers in my eyeballs. Sorry, not sorry. Anyhow, as you guys know, Riley Gaines was a teammate of Buffalo Bill, and Riley was tied with Buffalo Bill. And guess what happened? The school, if you guys don't know, if you've been living under a rock for like the past, I don't know how long, a year and a half, Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas, Will Thomas, intact male, who says, I'm a woman and people have to believe him. No, you have a thing. I don't believe you. Anyway, a girl ties with a biological male who's 6 foot tall, over 6 foot tall, if I'm not mistaken, and outweighs her by over 100 pounds. Like, that's like me going up against Michael Phelps in the swimming pool. So, anyways, the badass that Riley Gaines is ties with the new found what is a woman. And the school and the NCAA tells the girl, hey, listen, I know that you tied with a biological male, like, but we got to give the title to Leah because for picture purposes. And anybody and everybody who came up and tried to say, whoa, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right here, was told to just shut up. And if you don't, and don't even think about talking to the media because you will live to regret it. Bullies. So they're not only bullied by a grown ass man, but by their school as well. Real nice. So Riley Gaines gets to speak, gets invited to speak at San Francisco State, which I dub it San Fiasco State, because you'll hear why in a second. She goes to talk about women's rights in sports. And only in 1973, which was fairly recent, y'all, were women granted the right to compete against one another in sports. Now, if you just say, I feel like a woman, ooh, I feel like a woman, you get to compete against biological girls. Really? Okay. So anyway, she gets invited to speak at San Francisco State, San Fiasco, about women's rights in sports. Oh, not only do students show up and oppose her, Antifa showed up as well. Antifa is Antifa, a domestic terrorist organization that literally is responsible for billions of dollars worth of damage and claimed about 30 lives in just one summer. So they show up. A man in a dress hits Riley twice, not once, twice, as if once wasn't bad enough. This fool in a dress proceeds to physically attack Riley Gaines. This violent mob ensues. They barricade her inside of a conference room for almost 3 hours. And then they say, if you want released, you better pay up. If you want to be released safely, you better pay up. And these cops were just like, what, like, dude, if I got a baton or a taser, I'm shooting you or I'm clubbing you. Do not attack this poor girl, right? That's just me. I don't know. Anyhow, so the reason why I dubbed it Fiasco, San Fiasco, the freaking dean goes on to say, my students are so brave for what they did. They stood up for what they believed in. Standing up for what you believe in and violently attacking somebody and kidnapping them is something completely different. That's terrorism. So Riley Gaines is going back, I heard. Yee? I'm telling you, girlfriend, I'm going to send her a taser that shoots out prongs. And if anybody comes within 5 feet of her, you got one warning and you're getting electrocuted if you come near me. And these prongs are going to stick in you with 2 barbs. Believe me, I'm not even going to tell you guys, but I know them fuckers hurt. Anyways, hi. Hi everybody. Us women from Ohio are different breed, a different breed, and I love watching you because you're as blunt as I am, and I respect you. Thank you. Look, women are, you guys, this whole like debate, argument, whatever. Oh, that is a woman. He feels like a woman, therefore he is. No. Men are bigger than us. They're stronger than us. And in no way, shape, or form is it fair or safe to allow a biological male to compete against a biological female. It's not fair and it's very dangerous. There's been several instances where biological females, were indeed not only stripped of their titles by biological males, but severely injured in the process. So at what point do we firmly stand up and say, you know what, we are done. We are not playing this no more. You want to compete, by all means, go right ahead. Make a trans league and you guys can compete against one another. But then the argument of, well, there's not enough trans people. Well, then what do you want from us? You want to favor that very small population over the safety and well-being of biological females that have basically their whole lives trained and their parents spent tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, getting them into sports. And you want to just let us just give it up to that very small population of people? Because why? Because they're protected. They are the protected class. They can't handle truth. They cannot handle opposition. And if you do oppose them and say, no, it's not fair, they call you a bigot. Well, call me a bigot away. I'm going to tell you, it ain't fair and it's not okay. And what I find most disturbing about Leah Thomas wearing Antifa super soldier, that you're supporting the very same domestic terrorist who terrorized your teammate that tied with you, which tells me you can't even take cheating as a win. You are so threatened by Riley Gaines that you would openly support the same people who terrorized her. You've lost all credibility in my eyes. And no, I will never look at you like the victim again because it ain't happening, pal, dude. All right. I get heated about this, you guys, because as a woman, I've been beaten up by men. The one that says they love you the most, right? And let me tell you something. Even though I fought back with the utmost ferocity, I'm telling you, I was no match for a man. I don't give a shit how you feel like a woman today or not. You are no match for a man if you are female. And then we have them in MMA, in boxing. Like, what the whoever thinks that this is okay needs a freaking lobotomy. Speaking of lobotomies, hi y'all. I love you. I'm just saying. Thank you, Ryan. Hey, thank you for joining my Patreon today, bud. I see that you joined and you're at the $15 level. Whoop. Make sure you check on you get Patreon, the exclusive post at that level. You get all of my videos ad free, censorship free. You get everything. There is a Dropbox link on there on my Patreon. Just scroll down and you'll see it. Every video I've ever made is on there, and a lot of bloopers and behind the scenes stuffs and stuff like that. My Patreons actually got to hear about the Jesse Lee Peterson interview before you guys did. They did, because I spoiled them. Ooh, you guys are rad. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. All right. Speaking of lobotomies, I think that's the only thing that can fix the Biden administration, the whole thing, and Hunter. Poor Hunter. Why don't he just go to Passages of Malibu already? It once was my cocaine, but now it's not. I'm sorry, you guys. I just think it's funny. I really do. I think it's absolutely stupid. Thank you, Schmeagles. Appreciate you guys. Hi, Jan, unless your name's Black Widow. You right? I wish, man, I had fantasies about that. Trust me, I did. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could put some Drano in his coffee. But thankfully, I didn't do it, because I ain't going to prison for nobody. He did that. He went to prison for quite a while for what he did to me. It was actually it was at first attempted murder charge, but then murder was a case that they gave me, and it's Snoop Dogg shit type thing happened, and they dropped it down to felonious assault. But anyways, whatever. All right. Speaking of lobotomies, let's do this. The Secret Service, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, said this: the Secret Service did not ask Hunter Biden about the coca found at the White House. They didn't even ask him, because you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? Because they knew it was his. They're like, we don't even have to ask anybody. We know whose it is. We know what time it is. I did it all for the cocoa. All right. Senator Tom Kennedy. Tom Cotton said during an interview over the weekend that U.S. Secret Service does not appear to have asked President Joe Biden's son Hunter about the coca that was found in the White House earlier this month. Cotton made remarks during an interview with Shannon Bream on Fox News Sunday. When asked about the latest developments in the case, what the recent developments in the case are, we've got no answers. Now, how do you not have answers when you have somebody that has videotaped themselves, that has crashed a car full of the substance that we're speaking of, and you just don't know who? We don't know. We ain't got no answers. What the? I can't. This is so stupid. We've got no answers, Cotton said in response to the letter that he sent to the Secret Service. That's not surprising. The Secret Service is a troubled agency. As long as it's had challenges, it probably needs new leadership. No, you don't say. Just like the FBI, just like the DOJ, just like Homeland Security. What else? Oh, the ATF, every alphabet government agent, IRS, every one of them needs to be just dismantled. Everybody fired, and all new people hired. People with common sense that don't need lobotomies. I'm just saying. This is I take this very serious. I mean, what if this was anthrax? That's what they were portraying it as, but at first. White powdery substance found at White House. Oh my God, what could it be? We already know Hunter was there. Duh, we know what it is. He continued, this is supposed to be the most secure building in the world, yet the Secret Service closed down this investigation after just a few days. It is my understanding they barely conducted in any interviews. I don't think they interviewed the president's son, who's a known coca addict. This is like if the Hamburglar lived at the White House and all the hamburgers disappeared and they said they didn't have any suspects or no one who they could question. Get out of here. This is so stupid. Oh God, I'm gonna die. They know who went through those doors, so they can interview them as well. If the president were really serious about it, he could demand everybody that goes through those doors submit a drug test. Womp womp mom. Oh no, they pulled out the big guns, y'all. You can use hair testing samples and identify anyone who's used coca within the last few months. Those are the steps you would take if you took this serious. It just seems like another Biden cover up. Well, let's watch what Senator Tom Cotton's got to say about this. Ay, Chihuahua.
Okay, let's talk about cocaine at the White House. You heard what John Kirby had to say. They take this very seriously. He's
seriously my ass
on answers either, but they said, the Secret Service says, we sent this stuff to the FBI lab. We got no latent fingerprints. We did not get enough DNA. They said insufficient DNA. They also say there was no surveillance camera in the area that would have caught this.
That was bullshit.
You want to know why? And I'll rewind this, you guys. Because a plastic baggie that substance was found in is a porous surface. Guess what they absolutely could have done had they not wanted this? Shh. Don't look over here. They could have pulled a latent print off of that baggie. Do you want to know how I know this? Because back in the day when I was a substance abuser, let me tell you something. My latent print was found on a drug abuse instrument, which I couldn't dispute. So it's so funny that it's rules for thee, but not for me when it comes to the DNC. Ooh, that's a rap. Yeah, I'm going to send that to Forgiato Blow. I'm going to say, put this in a song, homie. No, it's really indicative of the corruption of how we are to live up to this standard, but they're not. And it's like, oh, it makes me so mad, especially for the men and women who were convicted under the crime bill, the War on Drugs crime bill of the 90s. Mr. Joe Biden, Senator Biden, passed back then. He was like Nancy Reagan on steroids back then. But the hatred for Black Americans was so apparent because he specifically targeted the hard substance, crack is whack, right? The hard substance, knowing damn well that the inner cities, when Freeway Rick introduced it to the inner cities, right? And we had the big crack epidemic of the 80s. And so he put harsher penalties on the harder substance, but the powder substance, well, you white guys, you rich white people, you're cool. But those black crack addicts, oh, no. You are, this is his words, not mine. You are animals. You are criminals, and so on and so forth. And he uber criminalized the harder substance and made harsher penalties for that because of his hatred for the African American community. You can't tell me otherwise because of all the shit that he's said and done his entire career. Oh, I don't want my son, who's blonde haired and blue eyed, to be in school with bust kids because God forbid these kids from the inner cities get better educations or nothing. Fuck you. It'll be a racial jungle. Well, you saw maybe if Hunter had been, in a more diverse neighborhood or school, maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't turned out like a corrupt little twin, like a Bopsy twin of his daddy. Maybe, because he's probably heard all of that his entire life and literally had to grow up hearing his father speak illy about anybody that wasn't white. You can't go into a 7-Eleven without hearing a slight Indian accent. It's like, what the fuck? If Donald Trump said any of this shit, he would be at the gallows pole right now. And then they are saying, oh, Donald Trump's a racist. Well, but Joe Biden has been saying this and doing this for 30 years. What do you mean? Wake up, people. Y'all, if you believe that Donald Trump is the racist and not Joe Biden, you need a lobotomy. All right. Back to this chick. She's very, very stylish. I like her look.
No surveillance camera in the area that would have caught this. They end with this. Without physical evidence, the investigation will not be able to single out a person of interest from the hundreds of individuals who passed through the vestibule.
Only 200.
Where the cocaine was discovered. The Secret Service investigation is closed due to a lack of physical evidence. I know that you reached out directly to the Secret Service. You demanded answers by Friday afternoon. What have you gotten?
We've got no answers. That's not surprising. The Secret Service is a troubled agency that's long had challenges. It probably needs new leadership. I take this very seriously. I mean, what if this was anthrax? This is supposed to be the most secure building in the world.
That, Sean.
If the Secret Service closed down this investigation after just a few days, it's my understanding they barely conducted any interviews. I don't think they interviewed the president's son, who's a known cocaine addict. This is like if Hamburglar lived in the White House and all the hamburgers disappeared, and they said they didn't have any suspects or no one they could question. They know who went through those doors, so they can interview them as well. If the president were really serious about it, he could demand everybody that goes through those doors submit to a drug test.
Well, here's the thing, y'all, is that Hunter Biden has been staying at the White House. Come on, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand whose coca that was. Was it Tony Montana's? Who was it? Oh, and then they tried blaming Kamala Camel Toe. What? Now, I know she smokes herb and throws people in prison for the same thing, so she can get free slave labor. But come on now. Now, I don't think she's, I know she likes Willie Brown, but she don't like China White. I'm just saying, China White's not coke, but whatever, it fit.
You can use hair testing samples and identify anyone who's used cocaine in the last few months. Those are the steps you would take if you took this seriously. This just seems like another Biden cover-up.
Well, and to be clear, the White House has said that Hunter Biden was not there at the time that this was discovered. The days around that apparently were searched as well. So we'll wait to see. Is there any other body? I mean, there are members of Congress who've said they may have some oversight to launch some kind of investigation. Would that go anywhere?
Well,
No.
This is a part of the oversight that we conduct in the Judiciary Committee, also on the Homeland Security Committee. I suspect the Republican majority in the House will take this seriously. I don't think the Senate Democrats will, and add this to one of the growing numbers of investigation into cover-ups related to Joe Biden and his family.
Okay.
Wah, wah. Very good, Mr. Cotton. I think, he said it very well there. We can investigate this, but I don't think we're going to get very much help from the Democrats. Of course, because it's always rules for thee, but not for me. They can literally get away with insider trading. They can get away with all kinds of shady business dealings. But wait, no, look over there. Look over there. Let's not forget that the Biden administration, Joe Biden himself, was instrumental in the aiding of human trafficking. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that the government just seemingly lost 85,000 children. I can understand losing one. My mom lost me when I was about 4 years old, right? She was panicked. She had the fire department looking for me. The whole neighborhood was looking for me, right? You know where I was? Sleeping under my covers in the bed. And they swear to God. And she searched frantically for me. One kid. Two, if you're like, oh shit, they're The little bandits, man, they took off. But 85,000? That is a staggering number. That ain't like 5. No. Nearly 90,000, if not more. They're undocumented. We don't know if parents or coyotes or these traffickers snatched them up. I'm waiting for my friend Rocky. He is a chapter leader of Wisconsin's GAG, because I can't say the. He has video of this van that was, or it was like a truck or something, car, I don't know, pulled over in Texas. In the trunk, it was filled with children. Now, a car seat would be compatible, right? But the trunk, I used to joke around like, I want to ride in the trunk. No, my mom always told me, no, it's not a safe place for you. And here we got 8 children topped on, well, maybe 5, or I don't even know yet. I'll find, well, when I find the video and he sends it to me, I will upload it. I don't care if it's 1 child in the trunk. I don't care if it's 10. What the hell are you doing putting children in Texas in the trunk of a car? That is crazy to me, because just, I don't know, maybe about 8 months ago or something, there were a brother and sister, 2 siblings that went missing in Florida. And they were playing around and they locked themselves in the trunk of the car. And sadly, they lost their lives because it was so hot in there and they had no air. And it was just, the father found their bodies, and it was like, and they searched for days. I don't understand how we lose track of these kids. Christine, you just joined my Patreon. Thank you, love. Christine. Yes, I was right. Christine, thank you. My eyes ain't doing so good. Rocky just sent it to my Twitter, actually. But here is, let's see. You want to look at it real quick, you guys? Because I'm a mom, right? I'm a mother. You guys know this. I could never, ever even fathom somebody taking my child and doing these horrific things to them. Now, we've seen how the left has portrayed The Sound of Freedom. The film based on the true story of Tim Ballard's life's work. He goes all over the world and saves children. How anybody could look at a man who saves children from these horrific situations, how anybody could look at Tim Ballard as a conspiracy is beyond me. Like, I urge you guys, please go see it. Please go see the movie Sound of Freedom if you haven't yet. If you can't afford the tickets, they do offer free tickets. It's angel.com/freedom. Quite simple. And if you can afford it, could I have used the $210 elsewhere? Yeah. I have 2 kids. Of course I could have. But I wanted the chance to pay it forward. It was 7 tickets for $105, and I did it twice. So for me to be able to, I saw it. Let's buy 14 more. That's 15 pairs of eyes that now see that this is not a conspiracy, that this really does happen. And the Biden administration, I can't even believe we are here today. I can't believe it. I'm like in utter shock. Like, how did this happen? Well, because of the Dominion voting system. That's how. Let's just be real, you guys. Let's just be real. Yeah, it's not as bad as you would think, and I know a lot of people are survivors of that. I watched it. I watched it. My first son's father tried to traffic me, and it wasn't called human trafficking back then. It was just called pimping. He would try to sell me to his friends. Thankfully, nobody bought it because they all looked at him like he was absolutely crazy. But even then, I stayed with him because I was like, I was told I was never going to get somebody like him. He was absolutely gorgeous back then, right? He was a really good looking guy. And I didn't think I deserved better. So I put up with that, you know, but I went because I didn't even think it was as bad as it is. And now that my eyes are open, I'm very hyper vigilant. Like, no more YouTube, kid. Definitely no, because I let my son watch YouTube if I'm there. But then I was like, you know, I have to go to the bathroom sometimes, and maybe, just maybe, he'll click on something that. So I banned it from all TVs in my home. I don't let him watch my channel either because of the content that I talk about. No YouTube, no social media, because predators, that's their weapon. The click of the mouse or this cell phone. That's as quick as it takes. And this is why I was so passionate about going after that little girl the other day, right? I didn't want to be mean to her. I really didn't. But I'm so mad at her parents for allowing her to have a YouTube channel at 12 years old in her bedroom. And just, I know how people are, adults. And she's got like 8,500 subscribers on there. And are all of those good people? Are any of them on the registry? Are any of them on the lam right now? It's that easy. Again, for them to plug in a plant in your area and say, "Oh, I can pinpoint," you know, or if they see a playground, all they have to do is, and they'll find you. Not to mention, they could pose as children to gain your trust. If these parents really cared about their daughter, they would erase that YouTube channel immediately. That's what I meant. You know what I mean? Oh, let me see. I found it. It's a TikTok video I got. There's just a minute long, you guys. Let me see if this is the one. Oh, okay. I think it's this one here. A lady, I think, was a gas station attendant and opened a semi truck and found lots of disturbing things in the back of the trailer, and now she has gone missing. So I wanted to show you guys that instead. I don't know. I think this is what it is. Don't quote me on it because I haven't opened it up to read them yet. So I'm just opening them up as I'm getting them.
Imagínese que llegue el avión así. Ya súper tranquilizarse para llegar bien a su casa a cuidar a sus hijos. Tranquilo.
¿Cómo estaría? Va a tener cambio. Ay, yo me quiero conmigo.
Sí, pero primero
I'm going to tell you what she found in a minute.
Primero necesita tranquilizarse, porque si llega hacia su casa, los va a asustar.
Cuida con su niño.
¿Qué le pasó? ¿Qué le pasó? Sí, mire, ya ahorita le vamos a ayudar entre nosotros, nos vamos a ayudar. ¿De acuerdo?
Que había un trailer que traía muchos niños.
Sí, está pasando eso.
Sí está pasando eso. Yo también a ellos, yo les digo que no se me adelanten.
Okay, so if you could tell by this woman's demeanor, right? She was absolutely hysterical. And I heard a little bit, I don't speak Spanish fluently, but when she was saying El Niños, right? Niños, babies. Okay, supposedly, and I can't speak because I don't know exactly the outcome of this or if this is true. This woman who was hysterical on that video is gone, missing. She was a gas station attendant in Mexico. Oh, God. What she found, she smelled an odor coming from a truck and opened it up while the person that was they were getting the gas for, they were inside or something. She opens the truck and finds the most horrific scene. Children who were no longer alive, parts of children, organs, and full. So I would say that is a genuine reaction to something like that. Because could you imagine seeing that? I would be traumatized, and clearly she is. I want to see, I don't know if anybody could speak Spanish. Feel free to go ahead and you know, go ahead and I think there's a, is this a part 2? Okay, there's,
I was busy thinking about.
here's,
I was.
damn it, here's the part 2, you guys. So this is going to be some explanation as to what the hell just happened. And if you don't think this goes on, or you think that this is just a conspiracy, I have spoken with a lady who is, she has a foundation in Haiti. And she's got over 120 kids that she's adopted. I'm working on getting her on a podcast because she could tell you the unspeakable things that they do to kids in Haiti. And this goes on everywhere. As a mother, I'm just over here going, what the all right. Here it is. Ay, 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 ay.
I was busy thinking about.
Imagínate que llegue y la vean así.
All right. La señora I don't know how to say that. Que vio niños sin órganos in an cumeni. I don't even know how to say that, but she saw babies and all kinds of organs in the camper or in whatever kind of trailer. I don't know what that is.
Now, a lot of people have been tagging me in this video, so I'm here to explain the backstory to this whole thing. And yes, I'm going to do it in English. Another video, I will do this video in Spanish. Now, this happened on February 22nd, 2019 in Michoacán, Mexico. In this video, you can clearly see a woman in distress. And that's because she discovered what appeared to be a truck full of children's dead bodies.
Ya que traiga muchos niños. Ay, cómo estaría va a tener cambio.
There were a lot of children in the back of that truck. I want to go home.
It said that the lady worked in a Mexican gas station. Her job was to fill up every car that came in with gas. However, this particular truck pulled up and it seemed nothing out of the ordinary. However, the driver of the truck left the door unlocked, and the lady had to pass behind the truck to fill it up with gas. And that's when she saw inside of the truck what appeared to be dead bodies of children. She described the scene to be full of garbage bags, dismembered body parts, and more children. She obviously reported this to the police. However, a week later, it said that her body was found in a suitcase dismembered, with a
Oh
note from
my
the cartel
God.
that said, "This is what happens to me for seeing what I'm not supposed to be seeing."
Oh, okay. So she didn't just go missing. Let's figure that one out again. Let's hear that again. Oh my.
However, a week later, it said that her body was found in a suitcase dismembered, with a note from the cartel that said, "This is what happens to me for seeing what I'm not supposed to be seeing, and for being a snitch." Now, this whole thing is real, except for the part where she is found dead, as it's said that that news is fake, and this happened 3 years ago.
Thank God.
There hasn't been any new news about this situation, and the whereabouts of the lady is still unknown.
Hello. If it's where is she?
Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like and follow for more.
I'm not going to say it's fake news because where the heck is she? People don't just disappear. However, if you're in Mexico, yes, you probably will. I'm guessing that definitely, yeah, she met an untimely demise because it is just something that I would not want to see here. There was a video, you guys, about a police officer. Rocky sent this to me, but I have already reported on this. Of course, the liberal media came out and said it's fake. However, as somebody who has seen overdoses happen and who has experienced them myself, this was not fake. This lady, this police officer, was indeed exposed to the deadly substance fentanyl at a traffic stop, and she was overdosing. They used, I think, 3 doses of Narcan to get her back, which is a 2 milligram dose per nasal spray. I don't know if you guys have seen it already, but I've already done it, so I'm not going to report on that again. However, for anybody who says that's fake news, it's bullshit because I know exactly what it looks like. And this lady, trust me, if you get Narcan with, let's say, no opiates in your system, it's not going to end well for you, especially if maybe we don't know if she was prescribed pain meds in recent times. And let me tell you something. Youch, instant withdrawals, complete sickness, naloxone mixed with any opiate, supposed to be a reversal drug. Now, fentanyl, because it is water soluble, it goes right through your fat layers into your bloodstream, and it's very fast acting. It comes into the body very quickly and it leaves the body very quickly. It metabolizes very fast. So it's so potent. It's 50 times more potent than heroin. So one spray up the nose is not going to work. And what's really sad about first responders, having been exposed to this, anybody, I was in prison with a girl little girl, she got 5 years, by the way, for this, which I think she deserved a lot more. Her 18-month-old, she took the 18-month-old to a trap house, and the little girl had eaten a packet. This was back in 2000 and I'd say 16 or 14 or something. I don't know if it was fentanyl or heroin at that time, because heroin is really gone now. It's all fentanyl. She took her daughter to a trap house and she got a hold of some substances, some controlled substances. That 18-month-old died. And this girl I can't say her name or anything because I don't want any repercussions or any hate to go her way or anything like that. But her 18-month-old is gone. It's very deadly, you guys. And I feel bad for any first responders who have to come in contact with that, or anybody's family who's dealing with that right now. It's terrible. Okay. Bud Light. We have to move on to Bud Light because, another substance that should be absolutely outlawed in my eyes, just for playing with people. All right. The left wrote the book on effective boycotts. Then came Bud Light and Target and Ben & Jerry's and Balenciaga. So I want to, and Target, I did say that already. I want to congratulate every one of you who has stood firm in your morals and values, especially if you were a loyalist at Target like myself. And I didn't even know that they allowed men in the women's bathrooms. I will never go back in that store as long as I live. And I mean that with everything. I don't drink beer, so Bud Light, you don't get my money anyways. No beer company does. But I love how the left, they got a taste of their own medicine. They really did, especially with Bud Light, right? This was it, kicked it off. So we have a celebrity who is absolutely another one besides Garth Brooks. It's Charles Barkley. But I have an article on how the left and cancel culture got a healthy dose of medication and saw that they weren't the only ones who can cancel something. So again, congratulations to all of you guys who have stood up to these woke ESU, what is that? EDI corporations that are not giving a crap about equity, diversity, and inclusion. They care about money, and they care about bullying people into submission, and they care about poisoning the youth and spreading communism that is disguised as socialism. Okay. So I say a big mighty FU to any of these corporations. Like, how dare you look at us consumers as if we were mere peasants? Bitch, we pay you. We pay your wages. FU. You know? All right. Here is the left wrote the book on effective boycotts. Then came the conservatives. Most people would agree. The far left in America has an incredible history of successful and effective boycotts. Yeah, like you shut down a mom and pop's bakery for not wanting to make a cake for a homosexual wedding. Okay, that's their morals, it's their values. Go to a bakery that does allow that. That would be the simple and effective solution, but no, they had to terrorize these people. It is possible, however, that we are having some sort of fever dream. A deeper look into the 20th century reveals some interesting facts about the left and boycotts in the modern era. The Montgomery bus boycott of 1955. Rosa Parks. Hey, okay then. The Montgomery boycott of 56 has been long considered the largest, most successful boycott in modern American history. This iconic moment in American history is fascinating encapsulation of the differences between the left and the right. The boycott was squarely focused against the Democrats, meaning Alabama elected only 5 Republicans to the United States House from 1900 to 1980. The state, run entirely by Democrats at the time, was segregating people based off of skin color. Does that ring a bell? They're doing the same thing today. God, how can people not see this? There is a modicum of differences between the Alabama Democrats of 55 and the Democrats of today. Is there a difference? No, there is not. The boycott was sparked by the arrest of Rosa Parks on December 1st, 1955, and subsequently organized by the Montgomery Improvement Association, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I just got chills saying that. Once the movement picked up speed, Dr. King was arrested for violating a 1921 statute regarding conspiracies against lawful businesses. According to the Martin Luther King Jr. Research and Education Institute at Stanford University, Judge Carter finds him guilty of leading an illegal boycott and sentences him to pay a $500 fine. At that time was huge, by the way, plus court cost, or you serve 386 days in jail. The trial garnered national attention, while the financial ramifications might not have been staggering. Oh, wait, what? Wait a second. Hold up. In 1955, $500 was like $5,000 today, if not more. So yeah, that is staggering, especially in Alabama. My goodness. Jeez Louise. All right, back to this. I just had to say that, you guys. It all started a national conversation around the issue, ultimately leading to a Supreme Court ruling striking down the practice of segregation on buses. The Democrats were thoroughly defeated until now. Arguably, the second most successful boycott in American history was led by Cesar Chavez and the National Farm Workers Association against Schleinli what is that? Schleinli? I can't say that word. Industries, a leader in the California grape business. At first glance, the boycott seemed to be motivated by better wages for farm workers, but the specifics were more interesting. A lifelong opponent of illegal immigration, you hear that? Lifelong opponent, Cesar Chavez, was convinced the economic woes of the farm workers would be virtually non existent had not been for the presence of illegal and cheap labor. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The boycott targeted Shinley due to its national recognition and involvement in various other businesses. In December 1965, the NFWA voted to boycott Shinley, which not only meant that all NFWA members were to strike during the 1966 grape harvest, but they would also boycott and picket against Shinley and their products nationwide. Initially, Shinley was unmoved by the strike and decided to utilize the 1942 Bracaro program, an agreement between Mexico designed to supply the U.S. with cheap temporary labor from non-citizens. So you mean to tell me when Nancy Pelosi comes on and says, well, who's going to pick the strawberries? Y'all still think this way? So you look at these people and go, well, if you want to come to America, what's it worth it to you? You want to pick grapes and strawberries for like $3 an hour? It's inhumane. It's disgusting. I can't even. The Democratic Party they're not changed at all. They're the same freaking people. The same fucking people. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. The harvest was completed, but by April of 1966, Shinley experienced a significant sales drop and earned horrible stain on their reputation. This what? Okay, sorry. My phone keeps going off. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll put it behind me here. They have a significant sales drop and earned a horrible stain on their reputation. This forced Shinley to sign a labor agreement with the NFWA, and conditions for farm workers began to improve. Thank God. Chavez testified in front of Congress in reference to the Shinley boycott, and he stated, we gave the INS, which is immigration, border patrol stacks and stacks of information. They did not pull workers from the struck fields. This is why we are forced to boycott. We have no enforcement by the border control. Today, is it the left or the right in this country that stands in staunch opposition to border patrol and restrictions on immigration? What these people on the left keep claiming is it's racist. They don't get good treatment. So what are you not like seeing this? If you're here illegally, can you thrive? If you're here illegally, corporations don't have to follow labor laws. They don't have to pay you a fair wage, nor can you succeed because you can't get a driver's license or car insurance or a mortgage or even rent a house for that matter. So what the frick? These people are so freaking brainwashed into thinking everything's racist. It's about how humans are treated. Yeah, do we want people to come and have a good life here in America? Yes. Yes, we do. But you got to go through the legal channels so that you could survive, thrive, and succeed. What are these people? They need lobotomies. I can't stand when people are like, Jen, you're just a racist. Fuck you. No, I want people to succeed. And you can't do that if you're an undocumented worker. They're not going to treat them fairly. You look at Home Depot, you got all these construction workers and owners of construction companies pulling up to Home Depot to pick up all of these migrants, and we'll pay you $5 an hour for roofing, or I don't even know what. That's not fair. And they can't get benefits. They can't get health insurance. They can't get anything. So these people on the left, they really ought to just shut up, turn the TV off, stop watching the news, and get the F away from the Democrats because they are in favor of cheap labor and human trafficking. Yep. All right. Let's move on. Sorry. Not sorry. Oh, Lord. In contrast to the above examples, let's review some of the left's most widely known boycotts in the modern era. In 2011, president of Chick-fil-A, Dan Cathy, expressed his personal views in support of traditional marriage and the family unit. So did Obama, so did Biden, but the only person that said they supported gay marriage was Donald freaking Trump. So, I can't stand him. Okay. This caused widespread backlash in the mainstream media and the alphabet mafia. Sorry. It was the LGBT. No extra letters or symbols existed yet. The call for a boycott echoed from every leftist politician, media personality, and activist. But what were the results? Approximately 8 months into the boycott, Chick-fil-A sales skyrocketed by 12% from around 4.5 billion to 4.6 billion. The calls for boycotts continued, and the pressure campaigns in the media were ceaseless. The effect: Chick-fil-A has managed to increase its sales by roughly $500 million each more since the boycott. Well, I don't know how they're faring today since they backpedaled and went all social credit score DEI on us and didn't stick and stand firm with your Christian morals and values. There's nothing wrong with that. If a restaurant don't support that, then go to one that does. But yeah, they have now. They experience what a boycott is. Another left. Wait a minute. What? They organized a boycott involved a multi-year campaign against the Salvation Army. Oh, what? Wait a second. So you're going to boycott the Salvation Army that does good? That is very charitable. The CEOs of the Salvation Army get about $100,000 a year, if that. But you say nothing to Goodwill, who the CEO makes millions. And then they hire people with disabilities like Down syndrome so that they can pay them under minimum wage. So you're not boycotting them, but you're boycotting Salvation Army instead. The only people I donate is to Salvation Army. Oh, these leftists are dumb as dog shit. Where is my bullshit button? Where is it?
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
These people are stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid as hell. The charitable organization was accused of both racism and bigotry against LGBTQI. Oh, okay. So now they added the I too in 2019. Look at how that's changed from LGBT to LGBTQI, gaining some letters now. Community. One thing worth pointing out: Salvation Army was one of the leading organizations championing for the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and has publicly disavowed any race-based rhetoric numerous times. Nevertheless, they have made company statements in keeping with the traditional understanding. Oh, that's where it is. The traditional understandings of marriage and the nuclear family, similar to Dan Cathy. That was enough for the radical left. They demanded people stop giving donations. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Hey, listen here, leftist. Me, my two sons yesterday, we actually had a trunk full of stuff. Trunk full. And I mean bags, clothes, boots, everything. We pulled into the Salvation Army, the back of it, yesterday. And I dumped probably about $500 worth of clothing and articles to the Salvation Army. How you feel? How you like me now? Ooh, I can't stand these bullies. Oh, I can't even. Now, that was enough for the radical left. They demanded people stop giving donations to the familiar, ambiguous red kettles during the 2019 and 2020 Christmas seasons. You suckers. They also helped the homeless, by the way, and vets. But in 2021, the Salvation Army received the second most donations in the history of the 158-year-old organization. Not quite the smashing success the left was hoping for. I'm going to donate $1,000 to Salvation Army this Christmas, just in spite of the left. F you. Lastly, everybody remembers the vaunted Hobby Lobby boycott of 2014. The situation occurred after Hobby Lobby was sued by an employee for failing to offer insurance coverage for birth control. What? Protesters were seen outside Hobby Lobby across the nation, and nearly every publication were in support of the boycott. The result: The revenue from Hobby Lobby was increased from 3.3 billion in 2014 to 7.7 billion in 2022. They just had the most successful year in the company history. Well, I shopped there too, so oh well. Now, fast forward to present time. What could end up being the two most devastating boycotts in American history? Uh-oh. Womp womp. Payback is a bitch. Target Corporation gained national attention. Boycott Target, ring a bell, in mid-May for constructing pride displays in stores across the nation. But not just let's just remind the public here why we need to keep boycotting Target. Not just in the stores, right in front as soon as you walked in, and it was a child's display. Yeah, and here's what they had in that display that should keep you guys away from Target. I don't care if you need something, personally reach out to me. I would rather help you out and send you a gift card to I don't know where, a Trader Joe's. And I don't care. I'd even spend more money just to make sure you don't go to Target. I'm dead serious. Plus, look what happens if they let an offender into the bathroom who says they're a woman, but they really not. And they don't know if he's on the registry or not. And then you get into a big old pickle that will probably traumatize you for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, there is those things that happen, you know. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here's the prominence of the displays, along with the outrageous nature of some of the products. Tuck-friendly bathing suits seemed to push people on the right to their limits. Chest binders as well. Let's remind everybody, chest binders, and a bunch of gay coloring books and satanic memorabilia. Yeah, let's not just forget about all of that, right? Seemed to push people to their limits. Calls for national boycott began to circulate among conservatives, and the result has been astonishing. Since May 2023, the Target Corporation market cap has fallen by $15.7 billion. A successful boycott, no doubt, but it pales in comparison to the Anheuser-Busch apocalypse. Woo! On April 1st, 2023, social media grifter Dylan Mulvaney, they say influencer, I say grifter. Dylan Mulvaney created an advertisement video for Bud Light, which featured a can of Bud Light with Mulvaney's image on it. Ugh. The right in America has made it perfectly clear in recent years that they will no longer accept the infusion of sexual values into everyday products. Absolutely. And Dylan Mulvaney is pro the surgical mutilation and medicating children with cross-sex hormones. So let's just keep it real. Let's just keep that in mind. For the people that need the lobotomies, we don't, because we have common sense we don't want sex in everything. We don't need to know what your sexual preferences are. We don't care. Quit making it so just in our faces. That's just, dear God. Bud Light decided to find out. They FAFO'd. The world has rarely witnessed the level of resolve this video provoked from customers. And the results have been biblical. As of June 2nd, 2023, Anheuser-Busch, holy cannolis, has lost approximately $27 billion in stock prices. Multiple executives were placed on leave, and the CEO and calls for the CEO to resign continue to intensify. Once ranked in the top 10 of national favorite beers for decades, Bud Light has now fallen to the 14th spot after 3 months of the boycott. The last 4 months have shown conservatives they possess a power they did not know they had. The right should take heart. The sleeping giant is waking up. Ooh, you guys, look. Keep your morals and keep your values. And if you're religious, own it. Don't be afraid. Don't be literally, if you get attacked online, which I get it. The left, that's all they know how to do. They're keyboard warriors, and anything to do with Christianity repels them. It's like they're freaking possessed. So, of course, they are threatened by your faith and your strong morals and values. And if you think that it's, a beautiful thing for family, they say that can't happen. We don't like you. Well, then, tough titty. because people are not going to just, let's say, throw their morals and values away. They're just not going to. And I think that they were they hit it on the head where they said this was biblical. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It shows the world that we don't want that. We don't care if you exist, but that's the far left, what they will say. You just want Dylan to kill himself. No, we don't. Exist. Be happy. It's Dylan that keeps constantly playing the victim here. Now, Dylan just put out a recent TikTok video, apparently. Dylan went to Peru because America's not safe anymore. But here I am on Machu Picchu with a bunch of llamas. So if America's not safe anymore, are you going to stay there? And the video literally looked like he was geeked out of his mind. So my take on it is he went there for some Peruvian flake. And boy, oh boy, did he find it. Because I don't know if I could pull up the video, you guys. It was like fucked up. Dude was geeked. And I was just talking to my dear friend Rocky today, right? We could tell when somebody is under the influence because we've been there. We're like human drug tests. I'll tell you what, when you're going like this, we know you're on blow. We just do. Sorry, it's that you just can't fool people. Dylan goes to Peru because it's so unsafe here. Look at these headlines. I'm so sick of the media. Look at this. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button. This is dumb as dog crap. All right. The media is just to blame, right? The Independent. Dylan Mulvaney claims she no longer feels safe in the U.S. as she flees to Peru. Like Leah Thomas, does a woman have a tallywhacker? Does a woman have like dick and balls? Adam's apple? XY chromosomes? Last time I checked, they didn't. So the lamestream media is very much at fault here. Here's the latest. I'm going to go with the New York Post because they sound like they have the most saying, "Hi, I'm on Machu Picchu. I'm Dylan Mulvaney." Why won't the here?
I can say, okay, surprise, I'm in Peru and I'm at Machu Picchu.
Now listen, y'all. Listen to how nasally he sounds. Listen to how nasally this dude, like he's singing with a nasal voice, right? Like you voice coaches out there, vocal coaches. This dude sounds like he did about a quarter ounce of blow. I'm sorry, not sorry. Keep that in mind while you watch this. That is the first red flag that I saw in this video. Dude's eyeballs are popping out of his head, and yeah, he definitely sounds like he is.
I can say, okay, surprise, I'm in Peru and I'm at Machu Picchu. Isn't this just so beautiful? I'm here by myself and I used to do a ton of solo traveling. I'm telling you, it's the best. If you could ever do a solo trip somewhere, it is such a good way to get to know yourself better. But I came here to feel something, you know what I mean? And
No.
I definitely have. I've done shaman ceremonies that were like 10 years worth of therapy. It was wild.
Shaman.
I've seen a lot of llamas and the people here are so kind. I feel very safe here. It's a little sad that I had to leave my country to feel safe, but that will get better eventually. And I am dying for some Trader Joe's rolled chili lime chips. But other than that, I am so content. Still haven't been kissed yet, but I'm holding out hope. And most of all, you know, this trip has me feeling like I'm my own best friend again. And that is the best feeling in the world. And I hope that you feel that way about yourself too.
Shut up. You're geeked. Well, you better leave them llamas alone, Dylan. You better not touch one of them llamas. Those are the only things that are going to get. I haven't been kissed yet. So you feel unsafe in America, right? Does that mean you're going to stay in Peru? you know, maybe you don't feel safe here because you've told people that if they call you by the wrong pronoun, that they should be put in jail. Maybe people don't like you. Maybe we found out you're a grifter. I don't know. Thank you, Leah. Let's see what you have to say. I admire the fiery passion you have to protect the children. You are a true soldier in God's army. Bring it. Sorry. I also love how you strive to unify people, even if we have different points of views. May God bless you and your family. Absolutely. Thank you. You know, we're not getting anywhere divided. We're not. And that is what the left and the right want, though. It's okay to look and sit in the middle and look over here and go, y'all fucked up. Sit over here and go, y'all fucked up too. And go, get it together. Because if we don't, this type of crap, this type of
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5.
that type of bull crap continues. You know, we have to get it together. We do. Who cares if you have opposing opinions? You're allowed to. They're nowhere in the playbook of life does it say you have to agree on everything. Now, the people that are hell-bent on attacking somebody just because they have differences of opinions, you need a lobotomy. I'm just saying. Because last time I checked, every person, even if you're an identical twin, you are different in many ways. Celebrate differences. Don't see a difference as a means to attack somebody. But I'll tell you what, when you tell somebody that they should be imprisoned because I don't like what you said about me, boo. I've been to prison. I'll tell you what, I was with baby killers, regular killers, child molesters, and women that have stabbed people. Okay? I've been with drug dealers. I've been with the worst of the worst. In no way, shape, or form does calling somebody by the wrong pronoun warrant you a prison number. And anybody, and like Gretchen Whitmer, and in Michigan, and in these dumb states that are ran by these absolute radicalized nut jobs, where you say that is punishable by prison time. Gretchen, your prison system in Michigan is one of the most effed up as it is. The most corrupt, the most effed up. And now you're going to put people in prison for some words? You're violating people's First Amendment rights. Is everybody going to say what you like them to say? No. But they're entitled to their opinion. Do you have to listen to it and be combative and fight with them and argue with them to prove your point? No. Simply don't engage with them. Walk away. Go talk to some like-minded people instead. Why are you going to raise your cortisol levels like that? That kill you. You'll be in the grave. Heart. Oops. Especially if you got the. So you better not raise them cortisol levels, because if you do, you in big trouble, homie. I just pick my battles wisely anymore. Like, okay, you don't agree with me? Cool. That's your take on it. I think differently, but that's all right. You like cannolis? You do? Okay, then. Let's go get some. Simple as that. All right. This motherfucker. Charles Barkley defends Bud Light slam Dylan Mulvaney critics as redneck a-holes. Cool. I'm not a drinker, and I'm not a redneck, but I certainly can be an a-hole at times. And I embrace that characteristic of mine, because at least I'm not going to kiss people's asses that tell people that they should go to jail for words. Shut up, Charles. Shut up. I could recall you not being a very nice person anyways, right? Being a bully. And he has not changed whatsoever. So here we go. Charles Barkley. Be a bunch of redneck a-holes. Boo. All right, Charles Barkley defends Bud Light, slams Dylan Mulvaney critics. Blah, 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 blah. NBA legend called beer drinkers who boycott Bud Light. Let me blow it up for y'all so you can see it a little bit better. Boycott Bud Light over its tie-up with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney, rednecks and a-holes during a profanity-laced tirade in defense of the beleaguered Anheuser-Busch. All you rednecks or a-holes don't want to drink Bud Light, F y'all. The outspoken television commentator told a cheering crowd at a bar in Lake Tahoe, California, where he was playing in a celebrity golf tournament over the weekend. Barkley's comments were captured on video clips that have gone viral. In one clip, Barkley offers to buy people at the bar Bud Light. He then taunted his critics by saying, "Hey, y'all can't cancel me." Oh, are you sure about that? I ain't worried about getting canceled. Oh, here we go. Look, man, people are free to be gay or trans or lesbian. Who gives a shit? I don't care. But the very second that you infringe on my constitutional rights is the very second that you lose me forever. If y'all fire me and give me all that money, I'm going to be playing golf every effing day. Another video circulated showing Barkley at the same venue. If you're gay, bless you. If you're trans, bless you. If you have a problem with that, F you. What about straight people? So you're purposefully leaving out straight people, eh? That's pretty sad because there's a lot of cool straight people. I guess they don't have the video clip. Well, hopefully they do here. "I want y'all to drink this effing beer," he told the audience. "I got 3 cases of Bud Light, Sir Charles." Sir Charles? What the? That's his name. Oh, God. Now you know you're damn pompous and too rich if you could change your name to Sir, told the audience, adding, "If you're gay, bless you. If you're trans, bless you. If you have a problem with that, F you. Nobody has a problem with it. Shut up." Barkley sparked a backlash on Twitter with boycotters vowing to double down. "Time to not drink Bud Light even harder," tweeted one social media user. "And to think, I used to like this a-hole," another Twitter user wrote. Another Twitter commenter wrote, "F you too, Charlie." The backlash against Bud Light has taken its toll on sales figures. Bud Light plunged to 28.5. Oh my God, even more. 28.5% for the week ended July 1st, slightly worse than the 27.9 decline they suffered the previous week. Oh my God. Social media users have posted videos and images showing supermarket shelves stocked with the cases of Bud Light that are being offered with rebates. but man, Menards does that, not Bud Light. I guess they do now. That whittle the cost to next to nothing. They don't even want the beer on clearance. Meanwhile, rival brands such as Model Especial or Modelo have picked up market share at Bud Light's expense, figures show. Calls to boycott Bud Light grew in the wake of Mulvaney's social media posts in early April touting the beer. Every video that I've seen of Dylan Mulvaney drinking, it looks like he's swallowing like glass, like he's forcing it to like go down. So you could tell he hates it. The resulting outcry has caused Bud Light's parent Anheuser-Busch to lose as much as $27 billion market cap and has threatened the beer's 2 decades reign as the national's top choice. Wow. Well, that's funny. So Charles Barkley, I got something to say to you. I ain't calling you sir because you don't get that respect anymore. I used to until you called everybody who's boycotting this a-holes and rednecks. That's tragic. That's racist too, by the way. But you could say that. Oh, well, fuck you too. I mean, you're telling people that they must buy that. I have 3 cases of Bud Light. You alcoholic, homie. You really need some AA. 3 cases. And then he's telling people, "I'll buy you a Bud Light." And you know what? They were probably like, "Can I get a Modelo, please?" His only reason why he wants to buy people Bud Light is because it's on sale at the bars. They're basically handing it away. Probably 5 cents a Bud Light. Bud points like Marlboro Miles. Yeah, just that kills people. Alcohol's no good anyways, you guys. Please just, it's no better. Well, it is better than caffeine, is not nearly as deadly as alcohol, but and if you're going to drink, just do it responsibly, please, and do not drink and drive. That's all that I ask you guys, is to make sure you think with your brains. Please don't drink and drive. Call an Uber, call a Lyft. Yeah, who cares if the rates are astronomical because they're surge prices? At least you won't get a DUI, and at least your life could be spared and that of other people. I'm really against drunk driving, you guys. I think it's one of the worst things that you could do. And, I have to say this because myself, way back long ago, over 10 years ago, you guys, I was taking prescription medication, my own prescription medication, and I was given a DUI. I shouldn't have been driving. I literally went to the gas station a quarter mile away from my house. But in that quarter of a mile, I now know this. At the time, I of course, I was not living in the state of mind that I am today. And I was very combative and very pissed off. And why you arrested me? The cops are bad, blah, blah, blah. Today, anything could have happened. And I'm grateful that they took me off the road, I know I could have made it. Well, I don't know. I don't know for sure if I could have made it home safely or not, So they did their job. I'm not mad at them. It's been over 10 years anyway. So, just do me a favor. If you're drinking heavily, just either stay the night where you're at. If that's not an option, call a friend. If that's not an option, Uber or Lyft. I have both of them installed on my phone. Literally, press of a button. And if you're too far away, park your freaking car. Put your keys in the glove box, because best believe you can get a DUI if you're not even moving, if your keys are in the ignition. Put them in your damn glove box, kick your feet up, and spend the night in your car. Don't do it. I've seen so many tragedies just in like my state alone, where people have been drinking and driving and they go down the freeway the wrong way and go head on. There was just a mother who was drunk driving with her small children in the back. Like, I'm talking 2 and like 4 years old. And she was drunk at 3 a.m. She put her sleeping kids in the back seat, no car seats, nothing. And she literally head-on collision over 70 miles an hour, and everybody died. And so I have a friend that I met in rehab a long time ago. She was drunk and high, and she was driving, right? She dropped her cell phone, and this street was a 4-lane street, but there was no center divider. She dropped her cell phone, went to reach down to get it, and went head on with a Mack truck. Instantly killed. Bright young girl. Yeah, she had her issues, but life cut tragically short. Life is so precious. We're only here on this earth once. Don't be a pushover either, you guys. Don't do it. Don't let people bowl you over and bully you and call you a bigot and everything else. If you have conservative morals and values, that is okay. It is okay to have your own opinions. It's not okay to be hateful, but it's okay to have your own opinions. How you deliver them. Make sure you just do it respectfully. And just, I don't know, this whole thing with like Riley Gaines and these women speaking out against Leah Thomas. Will Thomas has gone on. I'm going to say Will now, because Will Thomas has gone online and literally been proud of saying that he has autogynephilia, that he gets, he has a fetish, that when people call him a she or a woman, he gets aroused. And, it shows me a lot when you are ranking in the low 400s as a male, and then, oh, I'm a female. And if they don't let me compete, I am there are a bunch of bigots, right? So then he gets number 1 after he ties. This is my child, you guys. All right. I'm going to call my son back. You guys, thank you for joining me today. Remember, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be having Jesse Lee Peterson on with me. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it. I love you guys. Thank you again for watching. Stay strong. Bye now.